Leslie Bergman, who we heard just a little bit from earlier with some good advice, but now to say a few words to us all as the president of the European Union for Progressive Judaism. So Leslie, over to you.
Well, shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom. And really what a wonderful privilege it is to be with you today. When we conceived this program, the necessity for this program, a little did we know that within a short time we would have such a large group of people. And when we think of what it means to be progressively Jewish, it really means that we take advantage of the times we are living in and we move with the times. And the thought that 5 years ago we could have had people together from Poland to Italy and from Finland to Portugal, learning together to be to lead services in a Baal Tefillah program would have been incomprehensible. And this is what we as progressive Jews do. We live in the world we live in. We take advantage of the world we live in. And what a wonderful thing we are doing to use the power of technology to be able to train people in 20-odd countries that are participating in this program to lead services in their own countries. One of the things I would hope you can do, should do, in addition to being able to learn how to daven, to lead the services, to sing the songs, is also to give a short drasha. So I just looked at what is the parasha of the week that has already been mentioned by Rabbi Nathan. It's a double parasha, Behar B'chu Tochai. Now I'll leave it to Rabbi Nathan to explain maybe at some later session of yours why on a few weeks of the year we have double parashot. It's more complex than you think. It's related to the number of parashas, the number of weeks in the year, festivals, and but anyway, this is a double parasha, and Rabbi Nathan has referred to the second parasha, B'chu Tochai, in which is essentially the central messages that God says to people, to the children of Israel: if you do the following thing right, I will give you lots of blessings and lots of good things, and if you do the following things wrong, I will punish you. The previous parasha, Behar, to me has got some other messages, some very different messages, and what I learned from this is something I always learn when I read the parasha of the week and try to take away a message if I have to speak to, and that is to say that as progressive Jews, it is not necessary to understand every single word, every single sentence. Sometimes they're very complex. Remember that these are written thousands of years ago and there are translation problems, but to see if we can get the central message. In this particular parasha, I find 2 or 3 central messages, and what always astonishes me is how relevant the messages are of our biblical teachings going back thousands of years and how relevant they are today. For example, this parasha deals with the concept of the Shemitah. This is the idea or the commandment that every 7th year you should not plow the land, you should let it lie fallow, and also that the produce of the land every 7th year should be given free to people who need it. Now just think of societies thousands of years ago, mostly in most countries were basically underdeveloped, almost savage societies, and here the Jews come along with such an advanced concept of letting the land lie fallow. Really an ecological concept of today, that you don't overwork the land, because as we read in another part, the world belongs to God and we are simply looking after it. So by giving every 7th year the idea that the land can refresh itself, what a modern concept of ecology it is. And again, it enables us as progressive Jews always to think of saying, how can we apply the teachings that we read in Torah to the situations we face today? So this is what I urge you to do, as you should in your future, what you're studying for, to serve as ballet, to teshuva, tefillah to your congregations. Give a short drasha, look at the parashah of the week. You will always find something in there, and that's a wonderful mystery and the great gift of our religion. You find something in there that is relevant, that is relevant for today. And this week's parashah is a very good example of it, an early example of how to look after the land, translated into a very modern ecological concept of not overworking the land that we live in. So a wonderful privilege. I'm so happy, impressed to see how quick you've learned, how quickly you are conducting parts of the service, and a great advertisement from our movement that we are able to do such a thing across so many countries in such a wonderful way. Shabbat Shalom to you all.
Shabbat Shalom, Leslie, and thank you. It's a privilege to have you with us tonight. And of course, there's a lot of talent amongst our participants going into the program, and we're just hoping to hone that a little bit more.